Have you ever noticed the different ways women treat men in today's society? It's a puzzling observation. Some men seem invisible, as though their existence is of no consequence. They're overlooked, dismissed, or even ridiculed. Meanwhile, others are pursued, respected, and admired without doing much at all. What separates these two kinds of men? If your first thought was money or looks, think again. Many attractive men struggle to form lasting relationships, and countless wealthy men find themselves used, drained emotionally, financially, and mentally, often left wondering where they went wrong. So, what's the real secret? It comes down to this. High-value men understand the power of selective attention. More specifically, they understand the strategic use of their silence, of deliberately ignoring certain behaviors and individuals, especially when it comes to women. This isn't manipulation. It's clarity. It's strength. It's the Stoic way. In today's video, we're going to explore 8 powerful reasons why high-value men often ignore women, and how doing so creates a magnetic force that women can't resist. These ideas are rooted in Stoic thought, not as a tactic for control, but as a method for self-mastery. If you stay until the end, you'll understand the mindset behind this powerful approach, and how to apply it to your own life in a way that cultivates confidence, emotional freedom, and deep self-respect. Let's begin. The devaluation of free attention. We live in a world of constant digital validation. A woman can wake up, open her phone, and find her inbox flooded with compliments, likes, and messages. Before she's even brushed her teeth, she's been told she's beautiful by 10 different men. Over time, this daily flood of praise inflates the value of her ego and diminishes the value of male attention. But high-value men? They treat attention like currency. They know it's worth something, and they don't hand it out for free. These men might initiate a conversation if they feel there's genuine interest, but they don't flood a woman with compliments, emojis, or daily check-ins. They don't chase. Instead, they remain visible without being intrusive. Their silence becomes louder than other men's words. This contrast is powerful. It creates mystery. It creates depth. The woman begins to question, why doesn't he chase me like the others? And that question pulls her in. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." In other words, decide who you are, then act accordingly. A man who knows his worth doesn't need to shout it. His absence speaks for him. Purpose over pursuit. Man on a mission doesn't get distracted. High-value men don't spend their days refreshing Instagram or crafting the perfect message. They're too busy building. Their goals aren't confined to romance. They extend into business, health, legacy, and inner peace. Their time is spent preparing, refining, and growing. Seneca put it well. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Men of value don't wait for women to notice them. They work on themselves until being noticed becomes inevitable. And ironically, this focus makes them more attractive than the man who tries too hard. This is the paradox of desire. When your energy is centered on your goals, you radiate certainty. You appear calm, composed, and driven. That energy is magnetic. It doesn't beg for attention. It commands it. Women are drawn to men who have direction, not because they're inaccessible, but because they're inspired by his dedication to something greater than himself. So, if you're serious about becoming a high-value man, stop trying to get women to like you. Start trying to become someone you like being. The boldness of silence. There's a common misunderstanding that ignoring a woman means passivity, but passivity is weakness. And weakness is not what we're advocating. Stoicism teaches us not to be passive, but to be intentional. To act with boldness, not with recklessness, but with courage. When you see a woman you're interested in, approach her with sincerity and confidence. But if she plays games, responds with indifference, or tries to test your value, step back, not out of fear, out of principle. Seneca once said, "Boldness brings good fortune," but boldness also means knowing when to walk away. Weak men cling to anyone who shows them attention. Strong men know when attention isn't mutual, and they don't fear losing something that wasn't real. Ignoring isn't about avoidance. It's about filtering. It's about knowing your standards and refusing to bend them for the sake of temporary affection. The power of solitude. Why do so many men jump from one woman to the next? Because they fear being alone. They fear the silence. They fear themselves. But high-value men welcome solitude. They understand that peace is not something found in others. It's something cultivated within. They don't need a relationship to feel whole. And this self-sufficiency makes them irresistible. A man who is content in solitude is dangerous, in the best way. He doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't compromise himself to avoid loneliness. Instead, he uses solitude to build, to reflect, to grow, to become a man that others want to be around, not because he needs them, but because he chooses them. This mindset flips the script. He becomes the chooser, not the chosen. Women sense this difference. They feel it in the way he speaks, moves, and interacts. He's not trying to impress. He's already impressed with the life he's built. Solitude is not a prison. It's a forge. It's where the high-value man is shaped. Refuse to reward disrespect arguments. Games, mind tricks. Many modern men get pulled into unnecessary drama, constantly reacting to emotional tests or passive-aggressive behavior. But a Stoic man doesn't play that game. When disrespected, he doesn't yell. He doesn't argue. He simply removes himself. This isn't weakness. It's discipline. When a woman sees that her negative behavior gets no reaction from you, she's forced to confront it. You teach her, without words, that you don't reward disrespect. You only respond to calm, mature communication. As Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." You can't be constantly explaining yourself, defending your value, or reacting to every emotional outburst. A man of value has boundaries. He communicates them calmly, and he doesn't break them for anyone. Clear intentions, no games. In a world filled with mixed signals and masked intentions, a high-value man is clear and direct. He says what he means and means what he says. If he's interested, he'll make it known. If he's not, he won't pretend. And if a woman tries to manipulate him with mind games or hot and cold behavior, he disengages immediately. There is no confusion with a man who knows his worth. Many men today try to be overly friendly, overly nice, thinking this will make them more appealing. It doesn't. It makes them predictable and invisible. A Stoic man communicates with purpose. He doesn't send long, emoji-laden messages. He doesn't validate for no reason. His presence alone carries weight. And when someone doesn't meet his standards, he walks away. No anger, no begging, just silence. Time is earned, not given. Freely, some men cancel their plans the moment an attractive woman shows interest. They drop their commitments, bend their schedule, and rush to meet her, hoping this flexibility will win her over. But here's the truth. What is given too easily is rarely valued. A high-value man keeps his plans, not because he's playing, hard to get, but because he respects his own time. He doesn't neglect his priorities for the chance to impress someone. He lives by principle, not impulse. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." Be one. A woman who sees that your time is valuable will also see that your presence is valuable. She'll sense that you are someone worth earning, and that shifts the entire dynamic. Relationships built on mutual respect always begin with self-respect. The inner game. Mindset is everything. At the core of it all, your mindset is the foundation. You must believe, not pretend, but truly believe that you are valuable, that your time, energy, and attention are worthy of being earned. High-value men don't place women on pedestals. They don't see beauty and lose their sense of self. They stay grounded, calm, observant. They understand that emotional control is more attractive than physical strength or flashy words. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, when you are fully present without needing to prove anything, people feel it. Women feel it. It's magnetic. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." That's the essence of the Stoic man. He's not anxious about love, relationships, or what others think of him. He is focused, stable, and emotionally self-reliant, and that mindset is rare. It's powerful. It's what makes him different. Conclusion. In the end, choosing to ignore certain behaviors, situations, or people isn't about arrogance. It's about self-control. It's about refusing to be emotionally manipulated or pulled off course. The high-value man doesn't ignore women out of bitterness or fear. He does so from a place of strength, discipline, and self-respect. He understands that his life is his responsibility. And while love and connection are valuable, they must be built on mutual respect, not desperation. As Epictetus said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. That is the Stoic path, to respond with wisdom, with restraint, with power. So if you've ever felt overlooked or undervalued, don't chase validation. Cultivate value. Detach from what doesn't serve you. Focus on what builds you, and over time, the right people, women included, will be drawn to your gravity. Because the man who doesn't need attention often gets the mosey.